I still hear Corvus out there. Well, our new book today is called Sentience, The Invention of Consciousness by Nicholas Humphrey. Interesting book. Not a very big book, but it's a concise work. It's been this guy's work. This is the Nicholas Humphrey. He is a emeritus professor of psychology at the London School of Economics. He is a Cambridge, UK-based theoretical psychologist who studies the evolution of intelligence and consciousness. He was the first to demonstrate the existence of blind sight in monkeys. He also conducted research on mountain gorillas with Dian Fossey in Rwanda, proposed the celebrated theory of social function of intellect, and investigated the evolutionary backgrounds of religion, art, healing, death awareness, and suicide. His honors include the Martin Luther King Memorial Prize, the Pufendorf Medal, and the International Mind and Brain Prize. His recent books are Seeing Red and Soul Dust. It is from the MIT Press, Cambridge, Massachusetts, and London, England. The author left with Marvin Minsky, Stephen Jay Gould, Daniel Dennett, John Brockman, Eastover Farm, Connecticut, 1995. So, it is, we feel, therefore we are. Conscious sensations ground our sense of self. They are crucial to our idea of ourselves as psychic beings, present, existent, and mattering. Well, is it only humans who feel this way? Do other animals? Will future machines? Weaving together in intellectual adventure and cutting-edge science, Nicholas Humphrey describes in Sentience his quest for answers, from his discovery of blind sight in monkeys and his pioneering work on social intelligence to breakthroughs in the philosophy of mind. The goal is to solve the hard problem, to explain the eerie, wonderful fact of phenomenal consciousness, the redness of a poppy, the sweetness of honey, the sting of a bee, the pain of a bee sting. What does this magical dimension of experience amount to? What is it for? And why has it evolved? Humphrey presents here his new solution. He proposes that phenomenal consciousness, far from being primitive, is a relatively late and sophisticated evolutionary development. The implications for the existence of sentience in non-human animals are startling and provocative. It basically is, well, it's called the invention of consciousness, because actually, they said it rather came late in our evolution, and that so many things are non-sentient. But also he begins to think, is it really they're not sentient because we can't grasp the idea that they have their own form of sentience? He includes mammals and birds as being sentient beings, but he claims that octopi and other animals and things are not. And a woman in here, I think her name is Margaret Woods, was saying that it's terrible about stones, that even rocks and all that should be sentient, but we all know that there has to be some qualiphilia. So he goes quite into depth about how he felt that the brain has these mechanisms to finding the self of I. I feel, I think, therefore I am. Descartes came up with, I think, therefore I am. But other theorists and all that came up with other ones that they think were better. I feel, therefore I am. But it's compassion, and do they feel that other animals, but they do have instances, and they said that the internet has really formed pictures of animals doing things that are so human-like and show the rare insights of animals doing sentient things, like caring for one another and empathy and all of that, that perhaps there is a case for that. Well, it was always this thought that consciousness lies in the brain, and then they say when you go to sleep, you're not physically conscious, and you go to places where I guess you dream or whatever and rebuild the body, but you come back to wake the other day. So consciousness is it's defined as the science, but it's beginning to be thought that it matters more than it might be. Well, a lot of people are saying that the consciousness is in the whole universe. They're talking about how the creator, or how evolutionary forces brought it to us at a later state. So I guess we weren't conscious or sentient when we were ape-like, and then it came to us. So these are some of the problems he tackles, and he also tackles some of the things about seeing red, the phenomenal red, seeing the color, or knowing the redness of poppies versus, knowing that the light that is being reflected back is all the colors are filtered out but red. What's the color of this? So, and there's some funny moments in here that he really makes, it tickles you to read it. I just found it fascinating, and some great new insights. And of course, Dennett is renowned, for his outspokenness. And he goes around with different round and round, but he also keeps them friends in the field, and they all have their subjectivities and all of that to their way of thinking and how they do their research. But in the end, I think we're all going to find out that they said if we try real hard, we might, but it's probably doubtful that machines will ever be sentient. They'll be smart, they'll know a lot. But then he said that's probably because of our smartness that we became more conscious than we were. So if machines can get to that level, will they ever have that? Perhaps. But he doubts it. But he says he's sure his dog has it. Bernie is conscious. He knows, and they do several animal experiments that kind of prove the point. But anyway, I can carry on and on about sentient beings. I hope that you are one and listening, and that we treat everything as if they were conscious and sentient. Even though it may or may not be, be kind, and that'll help a lot. Thanks for watching KRAZ TV, and keep reading. We got this book, Sentience, The Invention of Consciousness by Nicholas Humphrey, at our Tucson Public Library, and we hope you can find it at yours. It's a new and recent book and just been out. Thanks a lot, and keep watching and reading.